All right, welcome back to the 8 o'clock spot. We had a little bit of technical difficulties when one of our contestants left. It ended the show. So we're back with the part two and our final
Wow.
round of the
Of
eight
course.
o'clock spot. This final question, everything is, whoops, that's the wrong one. Fourth round, or not fourth round, what am I doing? Final round, sorry. 10,000 points for the winner there. The loser gets 0 points, unfortunately. It is the final question revolving around the Boston Celtics. Who is the most important player for the Boston Celtics championship hopes and why? We are going to be starting with, I believe it is Tim again, right?
You start with me. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, I think the guy that is most important to the Celtics winning this championship is going to be Derek White.
Mm.
Now, I understand everyone's like, oh, it's got to be Tatum, it's got to be Brown. It's one of the two. Well, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but it's Derek White because I mentioned earlier on the show, he is the smartest player on the Celtics, without a doubt. If you want to check me on that, just look at what he did for game 6, inbounded the ball to Marcus Smart, knew that Smart was going to throw up a crap ball. And then he was right there for the quick putback. Again, that's heads up play right there. He's also the most reliable, obviously, from that, but also the most consistent. He's fourth in most minutes, but he's third in most points. Has the highest 3-point percentage of any starter. He's got the most blocks on the team outside of Porzingis, which he's only 0.2 blocks behind Porzingis. It's 1.5 to
Mm-hmm.
1.3. So Derek White is super important, not only offensively, but defensively. And he has a plus minus of 81, which has him top 10 in all the playoffs right now. So to me, Derek White is 100% the most important guy because, listen, as we've seen, Brown has had off nights. Tatum has definitely had off nights. And Porzingis has been out for at least half the playoffs. So Derek White has to be the guy to get the ball to, funnel the offense through, work through the defense. He's my guy for the most important player
Yeah.
on the Celtics.
I like the pick, Tim. I think Derek White doesn't get enough credit for being the best shot blocking guard in the league.
Mm-hmm.
He's absolutely that. He's great at defense. Let me remind you, he's very good at shooting threes, and he can finish at the rim. He's one of those guys that is versatile, and a lot of people kind of see him as a role player. And sure, obviously, he gets outshined by Porzingis, Brown, and Tatum, but realistically, he is a star on this team, and he has been the best player in a couple different series. Think
Mm-hmm.
especially last year. I mean, he has been very, very good for this team, and he's a catalyst for a lot of offensive, slumps. When it need a big shot, he's a guy that is
He's the
kind of
guy.
unexpected, but he'll get you some. So I
100%.
like the pick there, Mike Guido. Who's your pick for the most important Celtics player if they're going to take home the chip?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of in agreement with Tim on this point where like it's kind of easy to say it's Jaylen Brown, it's Jason Tatum. Like I would probably lean towards Tatum in that respect because again, he's had trouble closing out games in the past and all of that stuff. But here's really the reality. I think the most important player for them in this series is probably going to be Drew Holiday. Like
Mm.
that's going to be a really big one for me because again, as I kind of alluded to before in the previous topic, like the Mavericks right now are going through, and the Mavericks are going to win the series. Like I think we're kind of assuming that,
Yep.
right? The Mavericks are closing out games incredibly well, right? Luka and Kyrie Irving are both just playing out of their mind, especially late in games. They're super efficient in the fourth quarter. Drew Holiday might be the best defensive point guard in the NBA. That's really, I think, going to play a factor. If he's going to be playing guarding Kyrie Irving on a lot of possessions, they really need to find a way to either keep the ball out of his hands, which Drew Holiday does really, really well, or just kind of put him in a blanket so you don't have to deal with him. So I think Drew Holiday is probably the most likely. He's been super efficient from the floor. He's shooting whatever it is, 60 something percent in a lot of these games, putting up 15, 17. He put up 28 the other night. Like he's been super efficient for them. So I would say Drew Holiday, I think, is an incredibly important piece going into the finals with them, just for defensive matchups, especially.
Yeah, you got some good points. I mean, Drew Holiday sealed the win the other night, getting
Game
that
3.
big steal
Yeah.
in the fast break. He had another. Which one was that? I can't remember.
Game
which
3
game,
was
but
the steal. Yeah.
but the one with the and one to get the 3 points
Oh.
there. Which game was that? I can't remember. It doesn't really matter. But he's been big. His defensive prowess on the perimeter has been excellent. Neither of you said the player that I personally believe to be the most important, which is Kristaps Porzingis. I just think that the high ball screen that Dallas loves to run for Luka, he is way better and
Let me see how he
more
looks
equipped.
after game 1, and then I'll
For
say
sure.
Kristaps.
He's just way more equipped than Al Horford guarding that.
Oh,
And that's
100%.
my biggest worry is Al Horford on
Yeah.
the high ball screen trying to guard Luka. It's just terrible matchup. But regardless, I'm going to have to give the dub to, drumroll please, Tim B, the Boston Celtics fan. Of course, I had a couple different picks for who I thought was the most important. I said Porzingis. I was going to go Brown was second, but third actually was Derek White for me. I just think that it's one of those things, man. Whenever he's on, he just sparks a fire in this team, and it gets everybody else going. And so I like the pick in Derek White. Drew Holiday, I mean, come on. That's a given too. But yeah, Derek White, I just feel like he's better at scoring than Drew is, even though Drew has been very efficient, as you mentioned, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, thank you for joining 8 o'clock spot.
Can I just
If
say
you
one
haven't
thing?
already, yeah,
Can
I'm
I-
gonna get to your closing statement.
Oh,
Real
all
quick.
right.
If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, check out all of our other great shows, and especially Boston Sports Summit with the winner of tonight. And I'll leave him with his closing statements. Tim B.
Yes, sir. See, this is why Barry left, because he knew I was going to win. He knew that the Celtics were going to win, add another banner to the rafters, and be one ahead of the Lakers once again. I mean, that's why he left. I get it. It makes total sense. So
Hey, he's in the chat rooting for you, Tim. Come on now.
hey, listen, no, I appreciate it, Barry. I appreciate it, but I know why you left. It's
No,
okay.
he does,
It's all right.
let me just say this: he's not rooting for Tim. He's rooting against me.
There you go.
That's what he's
There you
doing.
go. That's
He's
true.
rooting.
That's
He
true.
hates me. That's my
Yeah.
problem.
Well, because he knows I'm now what, 7th all time, maybe. Maybe I jumped up a
You're
little
getting
bit
up
higher.
there. You're getting up there, Timmy.
Yeah.
Hey, see, look at that. 2 wins. 2 wins.
It's all it
You know,
takes. baby.
I got screwed early on in my 8 o'clock spot career.
Yeah, it's no kidding.
Hey, there you go,
But-
Tim. Now you have more wins than me, actually.
Woof.
But hey, I thought it was a lot of fun learning about
It
the
was.
baseball stuff tonight. I need to go check out some of that stuff because, like you mentioned, with the box scores not being completely recorded and whatnot, that's an interesting discussion.
Look at the
to check out.
story. Dalton taught me this yesterday. He told me this yesterday. Look at the story of Turkey Stearns, who won a quadruple crown in the Negro Leagues. And the reason he got the name Turkey is because he ran the bases with his chest puffed out because he was just that kind of built of a guy. So they gave him the nickname Turkey.
I
So
thought you were going to say
look up that
turkey
story.
because if you get 3 strikes in
Strikes
bowling,
in
it's
bowling,
turkey.
yeah, no.
No, but if you like the baseball talk, go check out the Bi-Coastal Baseball Podcast with my guy Mike Wee and Dalton. Great show over there as well. Anyways, as for me, I'm EJ Savage. My show is Boys in the Zone. Go follow that if you are a Cowboys fan. And without further ado, we'll catch you next week. Peace.
There you